Welcome to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Hello everyone, I'm Owen Hayes. You're watching Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented to you by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor. And I've said this the last couple, 3 weeks, you had better know where they are, because once we're done today, you'll be heading over to Fisherman's and getting the things that you need. Although, we got to talk springers, right? Today is the 6th. It's Saturday. We're live, of course. Again, being the only live interactive fishing hunting television show ever. I want to hear from you, right? It's right down here. It's the viewer hotline, 503-548-6777. Questions, comments, reports. If somebody's out there fishing, maybe you got a report to share. Live reports in particular go to the front of the line, so don't be shy, because I know that there's some of you out there watching right now while you're on the water. You know, how do I know that? I was told numerous times this week about how folks are enjoying some of those links, and I think the most popular one was through the Fox 12 app. So kind of keep that in mind if you're out there. Call us up. We want to know what you're seeing. Tell us the rock you're on. I dare you. But today, I've got my report from this week. We're also going to have fish counts and river levels, turbidity, all those things that you want to see so that you can make your decision going forward. Now, there was an extension on the Columbia, if you were unaware. It was supposed to close yesterday below Bonneville. Well, they extended it through Tuesday. So we'll take a look at all the information that we need to make the right decision. I got lucky. I got a little bit of insider information there. I made the choices, and I'm going to be focusing pretty heavily on Monday, Tuesday for a reason. And we'll, again, talk about that later on in the show. But we're going to have a couple of reminders for you for the Youth Outdoors event that's going on today. So make sure you pay attention. We're going to talk to you about that. Also, the ProCure giveaway that we do each week, we're going to give you your reminder. And we'll check in with Katie Suniga and find out what this weather is going to do. Because yesterday was brutal. Today and tomorrow aren't supposed to be very nice either. But at the very least, we'll find out what that's really going to be like this upcoming week. And in my report, I do have some photos to share. Y'all know what that means, right? I hope, if you've been watching the show long enough. I'm going to talk about, well, I'm going to already do it. Plugs, sand shrimp, herring, eggs, coon shrimp, prawns, straight spinners. I fished all of those this week. Does it sound like I was confused? I sure hope it does, because I certainly was. And we'll talk about that again later on. Special guest in the studio from Brad's. We've got Scott Call, and we need a new photo. We've been running this photo of you, Scott, for a while. It's a beautiful fish. It's a beautiful fish, but I want to see a springer or, you know, maybe a steelhead or something.
I'll
but
get
anyway,
on the photo deal.
Okay, let's get on that. We're going to talk with Scott here in the studio about several different things. One of the reports that I'll have to share with you later on is that there was actually more than just a couple, more than a handful, more than a few reports of folks being successful, believe it or not. I'm only saying it that way for a reason. We'll talk about that too. With stuffer baits this week, Brad's cut plugs, Brad's the original stick baits, super bait, excuse me, stuffed with, you saw it here first, the Millennial mulch, which has taken off. I mean, there's been so much going on with that here in the last week or so. It's really, really interesting, and the consistency is one of the reasons why I want to make sure that we get this out there, and to talk about a couple of different things with Scott about how we might just be overthinking things, right? Because if you just heard my little quick list of the different baits that I was fishing, that might be overthinking things. Although I will admit, it's all situationally based. Where I was, when I was there, and the conditions at that moment, right? So you got to have a lot of options depending on the zones that you fish in. Like, just so I don't forget later on, like in Oregon City, right? In Oregon City, there's a dozen different baits that we could be fishing depending on how we're fishing. Are you back trolling? Are you on the anchor? I mean, there's so many different things that we could be fishing with up there. Whereas when you work your way down the Willamette, that number really gets a little short, right? It's herring, prawns, maybe sand shrimp bounced around. It's a very different fishery as you get away from Oregon City, right? And that's not just there, but on the Columbia, same thing. So yeah, lots of different baits for a few opportunities. We'll get there. But with Scott, we're going to have that opportunity to find out what his recommendations would be on some of these different styles of stuffer baits, right? The cut plug or the original super bait, how you can fish them, and maybe when and where you might want to make a change. right? So we'll have that opportunity to talk with Scott here in the studio, which we're super proud and happy that he was able to make that in. Also, we're going to have your Chevy Silverado Tech Tip of the Week. And I'm going to kind of slant that towards some of the questions that we've been getting specifically for Scott from some of our Facebook fans. That's where this actually came through. I believe it came through there. Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong. But at the very least, how to kind of modify, make these flashers the evolution, which has been a revolution. Man, that's a t-shirt, dude. Write that one down. That's a good one. How to modify this to be a little bit more successful, right? So we'll have that and a couple of other questions that unfortunately my brain's not responding to quickly enough. Also the deal of the week for Fisherman's Marine, which conveniently enough falls in the wheelhouse of Brad's, and it's one that you're going to certainly want to pay attention to for all 3 different species of Chinook that we target here. And the little tiny landlocked guys. Maybe I kind of gave it up there. What do we got here? We've got, is it a report or what's coming in here, Ryan? Do we want to take him? Okay, apparently we just lost him. Nikki, if you're out there, we're happy to take a shout out for you anytime you want. All right, I'm done rambling. Let's go ahead and show you some of the photos that everybody's been sending in. We'll also show you how to send those photos in. Doesn't matter if you're out having fun with the family and friends, if you're hiking, biking, fishing, hunting, whatever. But here's a great one. March Coastal Steelhead. Carol, thanks for sending it in. That's just a great photo. I mean, the background, the grass and the water. I already miss steelhead. Quite honestly, after just beating my head against the wall all week, chasing these crazy salmon around, like this one, Double Trouble with Jason and Justin Krager. I hope I got that right. Nice springer. And that's with all of them been that size. Kind of nutty. I haven't heard of anything too massive, although Shlamiko got one last week or the week before, 22 pounds. That was kind of a good one. Here's the first of the year. It's a steelhead. Bill, thanks for sending that in. And it's easy to do, everyone. We all love to show photos, right? Look at this one. See, this is cheating. Cute kid, beautiful walleye. My stomach just growled. Garrett fishing with, he was fishing with Austin. Austin's actually down here. Been getting photos from Buzz all week, it seems like, of them having success in the lower Columbia fishing with Austin. And he didn't even tell me he was coming down. I feel a little bit left out. Look at this. Lots of competition is right. This upcoming segment, when I share my report, I'll just kind of give it up quickly. If it was 25-pound P-line fluorocarbon and the new Brad's hooks under full pressure, trying to get that fish of mine into the net before it got scooped up by one of these things. Geez, I mean, wow. That's exactly what folks are seeing all over the Columbia right now and up and down the coast. This is, just imagine being a Chinook and you're trying to make your way back to your tributary that you were spawned in, right? And you're trying to just work your way up and do your thing, let alone do you have commercial fisheries from Canada to Mexico and everywhere in between, but then you get to the Columbia. And the Columbia, well, now maybe you're trying to get to the Willamette, wherever you were born. But you're working your way up the Columbia, and holy smoke, there's even more of these sea lions. Managed for 3,500, but we've got 35,000 or 300,000. I mean, the numbers are absolutely so insane, it's just nuts. Anyway, not to get sidetracked, because y'all know I will. But there's another great steelhead photo there. I'm really missing steelhead. I see these photos because they're going to people start sending them in now because the season's basically done. They're willing to give up maybe locations or whatever else. Nicholas, thanks for sending it in. But yeah, I'm really missing steelhead. Here's how you do it. It's the Fox 12 app, super simple. Once you download it, it's free, everyone. You can find out their GPS, you can follow clips, watch what we're doing. Also though, once you scroll down, it'll show you where and how to upload photos and video, and we'd love to show you off. Now, I'm cutting to a break. I've got Clint Lowry, I'm betting, with the live report coming in from somewhere. I'm going to cut to a break. When we come back, we're going to have a live report and my report from this week, as well as your fish counts, river levels, turbidity, a couple of reminders, and what's this weather really going to do? We'll be right back.